What's up, people? This is KM.Little right here. We're gonna be watching GTA 6 is going to taint the industry, so let's get into it.
People have no idea how crazy things are about to get. First we started off hearing that Grand Theft Auto 6 could bring price hikes up to $100. Journalists and developers cheering it on. Yes, this is exactly what we need to have happen. Increase the prices. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Journalists and developers and analysts are saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 could very well be a threat to the entire industry. A game so successful and so disruptive that it could shut down entire studios and publishers. This is the most anticipated game of all time, and it could be the most successful game of all time, depending on how things go, and that could be a catalyst to an apocalypse of sorts. Something that's not just going to be felt by the initial release, but could very well freeze the entire industry for months before its release and after its release. We are going to see years of overpromising, under-delivering, and failing to listen catch up to a vast majority of this industry. They have failed to stay competitive, they have gotten complacent, and because of that, one game could bring the world down around them. One game. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the success of Grand Theft Auto. We're going to talk about the behemoth that it became, how it became that way, because we need to understand it to know what it's going to do next. And we're going to talk about how Grand Theft Auto might be so successful, it's going to shut down studios for good. Every Grand Theft Auto launch has been a moment in gaming history, not just a release date, but a cultural flashpoint. GTA 3 launched back in 2001, and it changed everything, setting the blueprint for modern open world games by combining freedom, story, and chaos in a 3D city that truly felt alive. Funny enough, when Rockstar was trying to get funding for their new game, they approached Microsoft, who was preparing to launch the original Xbox, and they were looking for exclusives, but Microsoft actually turned them down, believing that there wasn't a market for something so controversial. And they doubted that Rockstar would even be able to pull it off. That game would then go on to sell 14.5 million copies. That's a number that AAA studios struggle to reach even today, let alone back in 2001. Vice City built on that only a year later with a style over substance attitude that somehow still had both, and it reached 17 million copies sold. And then San Andreas in 2004 expanded the scope massively that it felt like an entirely new genre. They introduced layered systems, character customization, and a layer of exploration that few games have matched even decades later. Each entry didn't just succeed, it set a standard. But GTA's dominance wasn't just commercial, it was cultural. These games didn't just show up on the front page of gaming sites, they made headlines in mainstream news. Politicians were condemning them and celebrities were trying to get featured in them. It was one of the very few series where controversy actually became its marketing, and it worked. GTA wasn't just a game you played, it was something that you had to have an opinion on, even if you never touched a controller. Now, by the time GTA 4 rolled around, the series had already hit sort of a saturation point. Everybody knew what it was, but Rockstar still wanted it to grow even bigger, and they knew if they wanted to do that, the series had to evolve. So they leaned hard into cinematic realism, storytelling, and emotional weight, foreshadowing what we'd later see them perfect in Red Dead Redemption. They overhauled systems like driving and shooting, but more importantly, they had proved that this franchise could be more than just satire, crime, and explosions. It could have soul. That shift in priorities ended up paying off, and that game ended up reaching 28 million copies sold. But then came GTA 5 in 2013, and it wasn't just a hit game, it became one of the most profitable pieces of entertainment media ever made. As of 2025, GTA 5 has sold over 210 million copies, with the Grand Theft Auto franchise as a whole crossing 420 million copies sold. It's not just one of the biggest video game successes of all time, it is one of the most dominant media properties in human history, second only to Minecraft. Just to illustrate how absurd that 210 million copies sold number is, the highest selling Pokemon game of all time, Red, Blue, and Yellow, sold 47 million copies. Pokemon, the world's largest franchise, full stop, as a whole, is only 60 million copies ahead of Grand Theft Auto's total copies sold. That is insane. Now, part of that dominance comes from Rockstar not chasing trends. GTA 5 did its own thing. It offered 3 protagonists, a massive and detailed map, smart comedy, great controls, and an incredibly accurate take on Los Angeles. But what really extended the game's lifespan was GTA Online, a constantly evolving multiplayer ecosystem that in a lot of ways invented what we see in the live service model today, and it changed the entire gaming industry.
That's facts. I don't think GTA would be what it be right now without GTA Online. Without GTA Online, there is no GTA right now. GTA would have been died out. Like, if it was just story mode, GTA would have been died out, dead.
Earlier games like World of Warcraft, Team Fortress, and even Call of Duty seasonal DLCs experimented with persistent updates and monetization, but GTA Online was the first to blend Rockstar's cinematic single-player legacy with an open-ended, community-driven sandbox supported by a decade of free content and paid drops. It became a second life for millions of players around the world and a blueprint for how publishers could turn a one-time purchase into an ongoing revenue machine. I mean, as of this moment, GTA 5 Legacy and Enhanced Editions are pulling over 180,000 players combined on Steam. Not counting Epic Games Launcher, not counting the Rockstar Launcher, not counting consoles or any other platforms. And it's continued this pace for over a decade. Let that sink in. We know this wasn't just Rockstar's golden touch because they tried it again with Red Dead Online and it didn't stick, despite Red Dead Redemption 2 being one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time, a massive favorite among fans. The online component never reached the same scale. It lacked the same flexibility, the same energy, the same community buy-in. It's not just about making a good game anymore. It's about making one that people want to live in. I mean, if you guys think about it, Rockstar didn't even plan for what became the game's biggest feature, GTA RP. Through modded servers and third-party tools, players carved out entire identities, careers, and communities within GTA Online, completely independent of Rockstar's original vision. These aren't just small niche servers either. They exploded in popularity on Twitch, became homes for professional voice actors, streamers, and even celebrities, and gave rise to some of the most emergent player-driven storytelling I think we've ever seen in a video game before. While all these other studios are trying to spend millions of dollars to manufacture community engagement and force players into predefined seasonal loops, Rockstar accidentally made the perfect sandbox, and the community then turned it into a digital stage. It's living proof that if you give players the freedom and tools instead of a roadmap, well, they'll often build something more compelling than a studio ever could. And I think that
I don't agree on that statement because GTA be trying to shut down the 5M servers until they bought them. But even then, is people say the person who was in charge of 5M was like, oh, this isn't how I want it to go. This is all this and that and it is. Nintendo be trying to shut down. And then Nintendo try to shut down people who be trying to do emulators for their games. So it's just like I don't know. I can't really support that statement, but if it's like they'll give you enough freedom where you can stay under a radar, but once you get too big, they try to shut you down. If you making money from it, oh, they definitely coming from you. So everything you have to do is for free. If you made money from it, it's over.
That's what makes this franchise so powerful. GTA is so chaotic, unfiltered, insolent, and intelligent. It, in a lot of ways, mocks the industry that makes it. Even the players that play it and the world it represents, it connects players across all demographics because it offers something incredibly rare in this industry: freedom. It's both casual and hardcore. It can be a cinematic experience, a sandbox of absurdity, or something deeply social. And that's why when GTA 6 finally lands, it's not just going to compete with other games, it's going to compete with everything else. Streaming shows, blockbuster movies, social media. It's going to dominate the cultural bandwidth again. And I think that's the terrifying part for everyone else, because for all the games that we've seen that have come and gone over the last decade, nothing has maintained a death grip on relevance like GTA 5. It has been nearly 12 years since the initial release, and it's still outperforming new AAA launches. Rockstar hasn't released a mainline game since Red Dead Redemption 2, and they've remained one of the most talked about studios in the world just off of the strengths of 2 games. That's what real power looks like, and the only thing that I could really compare it to is Valve, and that says a lot. Now, I haven't played a Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas, and I just recently went back to go play Grand Theft Auto 5, trying to get some footage for this video, and it's like a time capsule. It is a time capsule for how games used to feel like to play. The character portrayals, the tight controls, the dialogue, the storytelling, the atmosphere, everything a player wants out of a game or expects out of a game is here. And the elements that we expect the least, well, they just only add to the immersion. The act of playing the game feels fantastic, but then you find yourself golfing, playing tennis, or maybe you're just chilling on the couch watching your favorite TV shows like Kung Fu Rainbow Laser Force, where conservative heroes are trying to fight to keep everybody virgins, or Impotent Rage, the liberal superhero that's trying to take down corporate corruption through tantrums while also owning their own multi-billion-dollar company. You know, everybody wants what Rockstar has, but nobody's been able to recreate it. Not for a lack of trying. Dozens of studios have tried to take their shot at being the next big crime sandbox, from Watch Dogs to Sleeping Dogs to Saints Row, and we got a couple of good games out of it as a result, but those results always end up feeling synthetic. They copy the structure.
See, I think with those type of games, Sleeping Dogs, Watch Dogs, and other stuff, the Saints Row. I think it's just the community aspect. That's the only thing it is. If you have players who hop on the game that just want to get up there and actually play the game, and you're not charging for an expansion, you're not charging for add-ons, you're not charging for this, you charging for that. Like you can do what GTA do. GTA make it very hard, very hard to get money. But they make it a grinding game. You either pay to get ahead, but we're gonna give you everything for free. We're gonna give you all the tools. We're gonna give you everything. We're not gonna charge for the tools. We're gonna give you everything for free. If you want to get ahead, give us some money. But the other thing is with GTA and compared to the other games, like Watch Dogs, you only have what 6 people in the server, and you can only have 2 friends. GTA, 32 people. Yeah, I think it's 32 people. It's either 30 or 32. 32 people can be in the server, but on the other games you can't. So it's just like with everybody, like Xbox Party, you can have 8 people, or I think it's 8 or 16 people. 8 or 16 people. Imagine you got 8 or 16 people, but you can only have 2 friends in your party on Watch Dogs. So it's just like, how you gonna build a community? And then people would enjoy a game if they have somebody else to play with you. The same thing with me. Like, I don't play one person games anymore. Only time I ever play one person games really like that is like, I don't know, like I don't know, like unless the game is really good. But past that, I don't do that. I'd rather play with my friends, bro. I don't really want to play no game by myself.
Without understanding the spirit. They try to capture the edge without earning the credibility. What they miss is that GTA isn't just about gameplay or genre, it's about tone, cultural timing. It's a studio that mocks the very systems it profits from. You can't fake that, and you can't buy it either. The reality of the matter is, Rockstar didn't build GTA with quarterly targets in mind, they built it with an attitude. There's a level of self-awareness in these games that most publishers would kill well before it even left the concept phase, except for maybe Cyberpunk 2077. GTA is one of the last remaining franchises where writing is still allowed to punch in every direction, where the world is offensive, ridiculous, and absurd on purpose. And I think that's what gives it life, because that is life in a lot of ways. That's what makes the satire feel earned rather than forced, and why so many other games end up falling flat. They're scared to say something real, or worse, they don't even know how to. Rockstar has built a reputation for itself, one that we don't normally see in the AAA side of this industry, not just for quality, but for consistency. They rarely speak, but when they do, people listen. Player expectations are through the roof right now, but nobody seems down on the game. And even with all of the AAA flops that everybody's been seeing, well, everybody just has a feeling that this game is going to deliver. And while normally I'm a skeptic, after playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and having played some of their previous games, I get it. There's something deeply human about Grand Theft Auto that no other studio can seemingly replicate. And I don't think people fully grasp how big of a moment.
Alright. But if you like this video right here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'm what's good, people. This is KM.Little right here. Thank you for watching this video. In this clip right here, I am showing you my different YouTube channels. They are in the link in the description. If you like this video, I'm pretty sure you will love my other channels. Also, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out.